All right. If you're watching this, it's probably because you've seen my film Silent Men. If you haven't, available to stream in the UK and Ireland on Vimeo on demand, silentmenfilm.com. You can find all the information there. If you live outside of the UK and Ireland, you can't watch it yet, but keep an eye on the website. Maybe you will be able to in the future. We'll see. So when I screen the film, often what happens is people have questions afterwards. In Q&As, I answer these questions. But obviously, if you've watched the film at home, then I won't be there. I'm not going to be there in the room with you, or I wouldn't think I'm in the room with you. It would be unusual. So what I've done, I've got a coffee here, and I've put together the most common Silent Men questions. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just going to go through them. We're going to answer them one by one, and this way there's a record of them on the internet, and it's like a little bonus feature thing that you can kind of watch if you want, or you can skip through the questions. You can go, oh yeah, I didn't have that question, not interested in that, but that one there, yeah, that's the one I had, so I'll watch that. Okay, so question number 1. What did the people in the film think when they watched it, particularly family / dad? So yeah, I was very lucky in that everyone in the film enjoyed the film. Obviously terrifying showing them, particularly my family, so they watched it before it screened publicly. And we had a little screening, me and my mum and my dad. We watched it as a group. I was terrified, shaking a little bit, and not really enjoying that. But they were pleasantly surprised. I was quite relieved when I heard them laughing. They laughed a lot. My dad laughed maybe too much, actually. There was a lot of that. I hadn't heard him laugh like that in a while, maybe ever. So that was good. He thoroughly enjoyed it, though. They both said that it was better than they expected, which is good. And yeah, they had nothing but good things to say. They also came to a public screening and watched it and started chipping in, started shouting things from the audience, which was good, very interactive for those that were there. Yes, it was good. Other people in the film, Mary, my wife, really enjoyed it, and that was a relief too. Again, most people got a chance to watch it before the film came out, and yeah, my brother was the only one, I think, who came to a screening and sort of watched it cold. I know Dom in the middle also came to a screening and was like, just wanted to watch it. Watch it with, just blind faith that I'd done a good job of representing them, and they liked it, which is good. Ainsley, I think, was a little embarrassed, but that's fine. He's okay with it. He's good. He's having a good time. I think. No, he is. We're still in touch. I'm still in touch with all the contributors and checking with them. Most of them have become friends now, yeah, so it's great. It's great that everyone's good. Everyone's journey is obviously continued. John's journey has also continued and evolved in ways you could keep filming, but everyone is doing well. So question number 2. Some were frustrated the film didn't provide an answer as such. Can you comment on this? I think an answer as in like what's the answer to getting better, or how do we change society to get people better opening up? Obviously, I don't really have I'm not an expert on mental health. I've just made a film about it, and I think people need to be encouraged just to find their own ways of dealing with it, and whether that's one-on-one therapy, group therapy, making a film. Probably wouldn't recommend making a film. Potentially does more damage to your mental health than benefit. But find your own way, and there's lots of people willing to help, lots of organisations. Many of them are on the film's website, silentmenfilm.com /help. And I think it would be wrong for me to sit here and go, here's the answer. Everyone's different, and what's right for one person isn't right for another person. So yeah, I'm sorry that that's frustrating if you watch the film hoping for the answer, because all I have is a sort of my journey and what I discovered and what I learned about myself and emotions and expressing them, and I think you have to go on your own journey with it, and hopefully my journey helps you and helps encourage you and helps you, make you think, but it won't probably give you like the solid answer. I don't think there's any film out there that has that concrete resolution to the issue. I should say that despite having answered all these questions many times, that doesn't mean that this will be coherent. Promise myself I will just do one take, otherwise I'll be here all day. So, where did the idea to make a film? Question number 3, should introduce it. Where did the idea to make a film about this come from? Many have said that just getting some therapy would have been maybe easier. The idea to make a film about it came from, well, I'm a filmmaker, so that's kind of what I do. I make documentaries, and I felt the issue was sort of a burning issue inside me. It was upsetting me that I couldn't get better at expressing my emotions. I wanted to do something about it. I felt like because this issue and this feeling wouldn't leave me, I channeled it into a film. And yeah, I was also noticing a lot of men around me at the time, friends. I suddenly became aware that certain friends had had serious mental health struggles that I didn't know about. There was a lot of publicity in sort of 2016, 17 when I got the idea for the film around men's mental health, and I suppose I just never thought of it as a I just became aware that there was more people struggling with it than I realised, and it deserved a film. And I wanted to make a film that was also like not, I wanted to make a personal film, but I didn't realise it would get as personal as it did. I suppose I thought I could get away with not being in it as much, and that quickly became apparent that wasn't going to be the case. Anyway, that's where the idea came from. I just looked at what I was feeling inside and made a film about that frustration. That's kind of what I do most of the time, I suppose. Just make a film about what I want to make a film about. Yeah, I think. Inspiration for this film. People have asked about my inspiration points in terms of other filmmakers. That's question number 4. One of the big filmmakers that I admire is a filmmaker called Alan Berliner, who was lucky enough. I was lucky enough. He wasn't lucky at all. I was lucky enough to work with on this film. He helped me as a kind of mentor and story consultant, watching the film, giving feedback. He's made numerous documentaries about his own family and personal things, and just is a real master of the documentary craft. I think just an amazing artist. So yeah, he's a big one. Other ones would be like Nick Broomfield, and I suppose Louis Theroux. In a way I watched growing up and admired. That sounds like I don't admire him anymore. That's not necessarily the case. That's just I suppose I'm more familiar with his older stuff, and that's probably more influential than some of the more recent things. Nothing against them. Have you got better expression? Question number, the other filmmakers, Roy Anderson, actually, I should say. Roy Anderson, brilliant fiction filmmaker, but just love the way he brings the mundane situations to life in a really cinematic way. Not saying my film does that, just an inspiration. And loads of other folk. Werner Herzog, probably an obvious one. Don't know many filmmakers who don't like his work. But yeah, they're all far better filmmakers than me. I just fiddling about, really, in comparison. Have you got better at expressing your emotions? That's the key one. A lot of people ask that. Are you now fixed, emotionally speaking? No, not fixed. Still working on things. But I would say I've made some definite improvements. People around me, such as Mary, my wife, has commented on me making improvements. I feel certainly more at peace with how I deal with things, and I make conscious effort. I have kind of things that, like, checklist almost, of like, okay, I should say something nice here, and things that don't always maybe come. Maybe were harder before, and now these things are still hard, but I've really worked at the important relationships in my life, I suppose. And I have to, because I'm now a dad as well. So 6-month-old baby. Amazing, really, that I've even got time to do this Q&A video. But the baby is out with the baby's mother at the moment, doing something. Don't know what class. A class of some sort. So yeah, that's have I got better? Yeah, I've got to get better because I've got a son, and he needs me to be emotionally involved. Relationship with my dad is also really good. You know, we went on holiday together. We've done some more filming together. Life has moved on in numerous ways, and it's really good. It's really good. And yeah, I'm not fixed. I don't think you can kind of fix these things. They are just like cars. I'm not a big car fan, but you kind of have to MOT them, and you have to, like, you're like a car. You have to kind of MOT yourself and check yourself and repair things and tweak things, and you know, eventually we're all going to the scrapyard, I suppose. Maybe this is not a good analogy. I think just what I want to say is you just kind of look after yourself and tweak things, and but you are the make of car that you are. Is that? No. I don't know. This is why I don't have a concrete answer to how to fix things, because I'm not I'm a terrible person to ask about any of this stuff, really. I just made a film. The film should speak for itself, really. I shouldn't even be doing this. It was just an idea to try and give people some bonus content and answer some of these questions, so that this does the Q&A for me, really. Oh God. Have you now got better expression? We've done that one. The balance between, this is a common one. They're all common ones. The balance between humour and a serious topic is a difficult thing. How did you work with this? So this is something that definitely didn't work for everyone. I really wanted to make a film that was not a serious mental health film that was all doom and gloom, because there's a lot of those. I wanted to make a film that was about mental health that also made people laugh, made them smile, and filled them with hope that things will be okay. And I hope that I did that. And certainly for some people that really worked, adding the humour in as well as something serious. For other people, they felt more unsettled by that, a little bit more uncomfortable, which I can understand. And all I'll say is, it's opinions, I think. You know, some people liked it. It's the same, some people, the reason some people didn't like the film is the same reason that other people really liked the film. You know, it probably depends on your sense of humour and your own personal life circumstances. You know, if you don't find me funny, and you wouldn't be alone. If you don't find me funny, you're not going to like the film. I think that's. If you do find me funny, great. Yeah, Great. How did you decide which men's stories to put in the film and which to exclude? So this comes up, like you maybe filmed a lot of men at the start of the film. I did film countless other people at the start of the process, and many of them could have made their way into the film. There's two in particular that I can think of that had really powerful stories. They just didn't quite fit the narrative that this film was telling. You can only put so much in a film. I chose to focus on John because I felt like I really connected with him and his story, and Ainsley as well for the reasons of kind of his filmmaking approach. And I just it just kind of evolved that way, and quite quickly a lot of the filming I'd done at the start with other men and women was dropped. That was it really. You sort of, once it became more of a personal film, it was clear which interviews gelled with my narrative and my kind of story. So, yeah, that was that really. That's how we decided. We just edited things. Okay, 2 more questions. Good, because I'm flagging. The hardest thing about the whole process of making the film, what was it? I hear you ask. But it was hard throughout. I mean, it started off okay. Started off like, all right, we're just sort of filming. I just kind of started, didn't really know what I was doing, and filmed blokes, and that was kind of easier. We just kind of got going. Finding men to speak was easy. People volunteered left, right, and centre. I just went and filmed them, and that all was fine. The harder bit became when it became more personal, and I wasn't sure what to do about that, and time started passing, and then I started getting kind of embarrassed because people were like, how's that film going that you're making? And I was like, oh yeah, it's fine, yeah. Didn't really know what to do. And yeah, eventually it just reached this point, and I was like, I got to a certain stage where the family, my interview with my mum and dad, I hadn't done yet, and it was lockdown. And I knew I wanted to do that. I knew I wanted to sit them down. I was kind of waiting on that. The film was waiting on this scene. But could I do it? No. It literally took a COVID lockdown and all my work, freelance work, being cancelled. So I had nothing else I could possibly be filming. Nowhere to go. No people to see other than my mum and dad. All the time in the world, essentially, for me to get round to filming that final scene. And that was difficult. That was really, but the way I felt afterwards I just felt, I've done it. People often ask, were you disappointed at how that turned out? I didn't have time to be disappointed. I was just so relieved I'd filmed it and done it and pushed myself to do it. I remember going for a walk and just being like elated that I'd managed to finally film this scene that I'd had in my head for so long. This is what I talk about with like, is making a film about your mental health a good thing to do? Yes and no, because yes, it forced me to have conversations that were very difficult and I might not have otherwise had. No, in that you get really worked up and stressed, and the other hard thing was showing the film to the public, showing the film to the people who are in it, like I talked about. That was very difficult. That was really difficult. Then showing the film to audiences and people from the industry that maybe know me, and had heard about the film. It took me 7 odd years to do it. It was embarrassing. I found the process of showing the film and touring the film quite embarrassing, and made me think a lot about what on earth am I doing? And I think I just had no other choice but to do it. I was too deep in, I was like, well, I've come this far. You have to see it through, and you have to show the film, and it'll help people, or it might help people. And certainly the response that the film got a lot of people were moved by it. A lot of people spoke to me afterwards, said it really helped them, and that was all really good and felt worthwhile. But the process of showing a film is weird, and nice to hear people laughing and things at the right points, but also quite full on, quite emotionally draining. So maybe that ultimately was the hardest bit. Okay, last question. If you're still watching, or if you've skipped straight to this point, you probably made a good move by doing that. What do you hope people take from watching the film? I just want it to help people. I want it to let people know that if they're feeling these things, or they can relate to me and my family situation at all, or the people in the film, I want it to instill some hope that they can make some positive changes and tweak their life to make it better, to make them feel more at peace, to get them to express more to their loved ones, let them know they care, tell them that they love them, do all these nice good things that will help, and just make people feel not alone, I think loneliness is a killer, and I want this film to help people connect. Was that a good answer? I don't know, but that's kind of what I would say. You want it to help. It helped me, maybe it can help you. I think that's a simple and nice way to round things up. And if you don't like the film, don't worry. Just don't tell me. Don't email me and tell me. Just forget you watched it. Move on. There's other good mental health documentaries, male mental health documentaries. Evelyn is one that comes to mind. The Work is an incredible documentary if you can get a hold of that. There's lots out there. So if mine didn't work for you, find one that does. And if you liked it and you want to find more of my work, I've got a number of short films available, like on my website and stuff. Not very good at self-promotion and pitching myself, as you can tell, but if you like my stuff, keep an eye out, because there might be more coming. There might not, but hopefully there will be. Bit of an anticlimax that, but there we have it. The most common Silent Men questions answered. And with that, we conclude. Over and done with.